not mourning.
Uh-huh.
I shared with Monica earlier that she was 5 when I met her.
Uh-huh.
And her daddy was one of my very best friends. It is always a pleasure and an honor to introduce the Irene Singleton Award. Every year, I look forward to coming to the annual cross-cultural conference, with one of the highlights being the presentation of the Irene Singleton Award. This award was established in 1992 in honor of Irene Singleton, who was an employee of the Columbia Area Mental Health Center, Fairfield County Satellite Office. It's hard to believe, but it's been 32 years since we introduced this award. And I think I've been here about 31 of those years. More than 30 well-deserving individuals have received this award. As many of you know, I worked with Irene for 12 years, but in actuality it appears a lot more than 12 years. To know her was to love her. She was an extraordinary individual. She loved her God, she loved her family, and she loved her job. I was in Winsboro earlier this week. Yeah, I still go to Winsboro.
Uh-huh.
My dentist is in Winsboro, so I still go to Winsboro. But while I was in Winsboro this week, I think it was a couple of days ago, I spent a little time reminiscing about the years I spent there, but I also reflected on my years with Irene. On my way back to Columbia, I passed this house about 7 or 8 miles out of Winsboro. The house appears now abandoned. I remember early on in my career at Winsboro, a lady came into office, and I'll call her Judy. Back in those days, we had a doctor who came in on Thursday night. He prescribed the medication, and we had to get the medication from Whole Institute brought up to Winsboro. And then the patient would pick their medicine up. On this particular night, the lady was not able to pick up her medication. And Irene said to her, "Don't worry, Judy, I'll drop it off at your house when I get off today." Well, we didn't get off until 8 o'clock, and Irene lived the opposite direction. Now, I live closest to Columbia, or in the direction going to Columbia. Irene lived going toward Chester. It was not on her way from work. It was quite a distance from her work, so I felt so sorry for Irene. I said, "No, Irene, I'll take the medicine to this lady tonight." But I'm sure she had done that many times before. I could share many, many stories about Irene and her work ethics. However, time does not permit, James, and I have just a few minutes. So now to present the award are her sister, Janet, Mason, and her sons, Danny and John. Thank you.
Somebody mentioned getting old a little while ago. I'm old, but I'm not cold. I think I'm last, huh? My nephew is coming up here, to Irene's son, to introduce me. We're going to be quick, folks, but it's going to be interesting. But before I sit down to turn it over to Danny, I want to tell y'all, this is the other person that I love dearly because she knew Irene and loved her the way we did. The only thing I told her when I met her today was, where does white hair come from? So I guess she's wondering what happened to mine. Only God and my hairdresser knows.
How do you follow that? Folks, my name is Dan Singleton, and I am the very proud and grateful son of Irene Singleton. First of all, please join me in giving a hand to her supervisor, Mary Green, for recognizing and appreciating a job well done by a staff member. If I could sum up this award in one word, that word would be appreciation. In fact, a statement by one of this year's award winners says it all. This is actually people that work with her. They said, it is impossible to be in the presence of this person and not feel appreciated. Y'all see where I'm coming from? Folks, this award acknowledges outstanding work by South Carolina Department of Mental Health support staff in 5 key areas. Number 1, dedication to work. Number 2, commitment to agency or organization. Number 3, involvement in cultural diversity programs or service. 4, personal resilience. And 5, compassion and concern for coworkers and or people in general. Now, I just want to make a very special note. I was looking on my calendar and I realized that today, how many of you all know that today is the first day of Women's History Month?
Yes.
This is so appropriate and so auspicious. Women's History this year is announced that Dr. Joe Biden announced that the theme is Women Who Advocate Equity, Diversity, and Inclusion. And I have to give it up to you, brother, because you were on point, okay? This 2024 theme recognizes women throughout the country who believe a positive future can only be achieved by eliminating bias, discrimination entirely from our lives and institutions. Now, for this award, both men and women are eligible to receive the Irene Singleton Award, just as all of us can be inspired by the great work of women like my mom, Irene Singleton. And now my brother, John Singleton, is going to share with you the list of nominees for the Irene Singleton Support Staff Award.
Okay, folks, you hear I've got my quick 2 minutes. They already scripted me, so I'm not going to go off script. But the nominees for this year's 2024 Irene Singleton Award: Diane Henry, PD, Mental Health; Ernestine Hodge, Assistant Director of Administration for Coastal Empire Community Mental Health; Felicia Davis, Triage for Access Team at Aiken Barnwell; Juana Lopez, Administrative Assistant at Aiken Barnwell Mental Health Center; Judith Birkenau, Assistant Director of Administration for Coastal Empire Community Mental Health; Richard Carpenter, Peer Support Specialist, Aiken Barnwell. And my aunt's going to come up here in just 1 second. I said I wasn't going to go off script. I'm going to go off script a little bit because this is my first year being involved in the process of reviewing all the nominations. And Aunt Jan had already told me many times how difficult it was to come up with the winner among all these outstanding candidates. And I just want to say, one of the things I was thinking about was, how would my mother handle this? Loving, compassionate, because we have a difficult time. And I know this is probably not the right way, but I think I figured out what she would have said. She would say, John, tell those people, this year, everybody's a winner, because we can't pick one now, because they're all too good. So I'm not sure 100%, but that's what my spirit tells me. Moving on, and to present the award, allow us to introduce another great woman who has worked tirelessly, back on script, throughout her life to improve the lives of South Carolina residents, especially students and teachers, our mom's sister, and our beloved Aunt Janet Mason.
I live till June, I will celebrate my 88th birthday. Now, I'm going to count to 3. And when I get to 3, I want all of you to say, "You don't look it." 1, 2, 3. You don't look it. I had the privilege to be married to the most wonderful man on the face of the earth for 61 years before God called him home. And if he was here, he would tell you, "Boy, she has more charm than you know about." Now, my privilege to introduce the winner of all of those incredible people who were nominated. And our winner, folks, is, Catherine Miller. Catherine Miller. Come up here. Come here, darling. By the way, I might be related to her. I'm half white and half black. When I was born in, I have something to give this woman. I was born in 1936 when it wasn't that great to have a black and white person. Matter of fact, it was illegal then to get married. Did y'all know that? Yeah. It was illegal. But my father and mother got together in spite of the law. That's why I'm so cute. Now, come up here, baby. Come up here. This reads, Irene Singleton Award presented to Catherine Miller in recognition of your dedication and outstanding administrative support. 46th Annual Cross-Cultural Mental Health and Human Services Conference, March the 1st, 2024.
Thank you. All right.
Now, you can't share this with them. This is for you, but that's from Irene's family.
I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. You want to come?
Where's she from? Sorry?
What do you work?
I work in the Department of Forensics.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm in Columbia. First off, when I found out I was nominated, because that was the very first thing I was told by Dr. Gothard when I was there, I was overwhelmed. I've been with the department for about 2 years, and I came from education, and to work in a department where it was immediately so quickly recognize that I'm working hard and that I care about what I do and I care about the patients that we work with was amazing. And I wish I could have brought the person that nominated me and about 18 other people who help me every day. Mildred Young, Richard Brown. I could list a bunch of people who, if this was a piece of paper, I would cut it and hand a sliver to so many people who have made my job workable and doable. I appreciate that I've learned so much. As an educator, the mental health side of things is so present, and to come from that into, especially working in the forensics department with children, it's been amazing, and I learn every day, and it's so amazing. So I appreciate the award recognizing that I'm happy to learn every day, and I have a great team, and thank you for recognizing me.